Chat here along with Farbs. Today's a special day for the Plainsman podcast. We're doing something that has not been done before by any podcast group. Farbs, how we feeling?
Feeling good. Ready to bring you all some new content, some different content. And we're just here at the Plainsman Pod. We break boundaries, and we forge new terrain.
Yeah.
And we're excited.
We are excited, and I reckon we're about 2 minutes away from. This is crazy.
Dude, I was so mad. Hey, Jack can hold it in the front.
I also got my phone.
Oh, you want? Okay.
Well,
You're gonna squeeze in the back.
Yeah, and he's gonna fly. I'm here with Jack Simon, our guest today. Pre-game flight interview. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. Just looking for one solid landing today. Gonna keep it on the ground, plan it there, keep it real nice, and that's the plan.
Yeah, I have experience with him as my pilot, and he does an outstanding job, and we're looking forward to that again today. And why don't you tell us about your equipment here, what we've got behind us?
So this is a Piper Comanche. It was built in 1959, so it's pretty old, but everything in there has been completely redone. The engine's got about 150 hours on it, and it makes 180 horsepower. So not a whole lot of power, but we'll get off the ground pretty quick. We're going to look to cruise at around 170 miles an hour today, so we'll be moving pretty quick. Don't really know where we're going. We're just going to get up there and let the skies take us, but it's going to be pretty simple. Just going to look for a nice, safe flight and have some fun.
Let's see me going first then? Yes. Take a little bit of hip mobility. So it's going to be an issue for me? It's going to look... Am I going in next? Yeah. Actually, I don't want to. Okay, then you'll go in last. Sorry. There you go. All right, good. Not too bad. Pretty good, huh? All right. And I'll squeeze in there. That's your insight right there. You got room?
key on. Get them brakes.
Clear prop. All right, let's see if I got it first try.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Good, how we feeling? How we feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling good.
All right, we're live.
What's up, guys? Plainsman Podcast here. Chat along with Farbs behind the camera. And today we got a special guest.
Yes.
What's up, Pod?
Special guest. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Plainsman Podcast, as you can see, is in the air. Join us today, our special guest, Mr. Jack Simon.
What's up, Pod?
He is a Auburn student, a RA at South Don, an Auburn baseball fan, and some would call him one of the best pilots on the face of the earth.
It's true.
That's
true.
big compliment, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Tower number 3 is
we are honored
18.
to be in his...
Runway 18, clear to land.
Runway 18, clear to land.
Sorry, we got air traffic control talking to us. We are honored to be in his vehicle and excited to have him on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Give it
guys.
up. Give it
I
up
appreciate
for
it. Thank you. Thank you.
You mentioned he was a RA for South Don, which leads me into my first question for the guy.
All right, let's hear it.
Out of all the freshmen on the team, who is, how should I word this? Who is the worst resident of South Don?
Oh, dude, none of the baseball guys really caused problems for me, but I mean, just because Guy was giving me a hard time today, I'm gonna have to give that to Mr. Ethan Bingaman.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's good most of the time, but Today, just a pain, dude. Forgot his keys in the car today. Just a shame. Had to let his dad into the hallway. But man, it happens. So sad. It happens to the best of us. But
shout out Binga.
Yep.
Shout out Dusty.
Y'all behave most of the time, which is pretty good. Auburn football, lock in.
Yeah.
Shout out Auburn football. Let me add, Ethan Bingaman. This is going to segue us into our next segment of the day. Ethan Bingaman and his dad made the drive back to Auburn from California. They made a pit stop in San Antonio, Texas, where I reside. Got a little work in. Great to see the kid. Binga, I wish you would have remembered your keys. Jack, I'm sorry that you had to deal with that.
Well, it's okay. It's part of the job.
Oh, we're going to jump into our next segment here. This segment is called Winter Break Recap. So, Chat, tell us about your winter break, kid.
Yeah, I'll start us off. So, I really didn't do a whole lot. I did go to North Carolina. Shout out Tread Athletics. I did some throwing and lifting there. Worked on some mechanical stuff. And then other than that, just kind of hung out at the house. Shout out my boy Seth Walton. We filmed a few TikToks on Seth and Chat Drafts on TikTok. Seth's my guy. We got some throwing in, some lifting in. And other than that, I kind of just chilled at the house.
There we go. Mr. Jack here, we're going to pan over to you.
All right, let's hear it.
What do you got? What was your winter break recap?
My winter break was pretty chill. Hung out with the fam. Got some good time with the fam. Got some good air time. Took a few trips in the old plane over here out to some different places out in Tennessee and Kentucky. That was pretty lit, if I do say so myself. And then I came back here, which was pretty awesome. Got a little bit of work on the plane done too, so she's running like a dream.
That is amazing. What did, if you don't mind me asking, what did you do in those places you visited?
Nothing much. Sometimes it's just pretty cool to go check out a new place. A lot of these small airports have crew cars that you can borrow. So I go land there, buy a little bit of gas from them, and they toss me the keys to whatever nice little vehicle that they have, and can go around town, see some cool stuff. Shout out to Cookeville, Tennessee, the entire city of Cookeville, Tennessee. That'll be my shout out for the day.
Shout them out.
Shout out Cookeville. I'm going to spin the camera around here. My winter break shout out, or my winter break recap. Got home first. Stopped in Florida, made a pit stop in Florida, visited the family, my mom's side. And I'm going to pause us. I know I've shown it a little bit. We do have a beautiful sunset. We are above the clouds right now, so you can see it is just beautiful. It looks like endless fields of grass, but it is not. It is the clouds. Moving back.
Clouds are just water, Chat, is that news to you? Clouds?
I don't know if Saxon would agree.
Clouds are water?
Are they?
That's what they say. At Saxon Roberts, thoughts on clouds?
Yeah, I would be interested to hear his thoughts. I do think clouds are partially rain, because isn't that where rain comes from, So,
dude,
I don't know.
That's a great point.
I don't know. Speaking of rain, it got rained on when I was in Florida. So hopped down to Orlando, saw some of the grandparents, saw my great-grandma. It's a great time. Did some clear canoeing, where the bottom of the canoe was clear. Had a good time, no gators. Hopped back over to San Antonio, enjoyed my time there, and then went to Arizona. Visited my grandparents on my dad's side. Had a good time. Enjoyed the Sun City area, did a little bit of bowling, and then back to San Antonio. Went to a couple Spurs games. Shout out Victor Wembanyama. I know he's going to be watching this, and he's a stud, and I enjoyed watching him. I think 3 times. Really good ball player. And then I hopped on a plane here yesterday back to Auburn, and excited to be here for the semester. It's going to be a good one.
Barb, I have to ask, if you were not an absolute stud on the ball field, would you consider a career in bowling? Is that on the horizon for you?
I'm going to spin this back around. Unfortunately, I am a two-handed bowler.
What?
I bowl with two hands, and some would say that I'm not very talented.
Do we have a clip of this?
No. Maybe we'll go bowling here soon and we can get a clip.
That's embarrassing, kid.
I would still beat Chad.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
I would still beat Chad. But yes, I do bowl with two hands. Better for shoulder health. And that is important as I play baseball.
Yeah,
So,
but is it that bad for shoulder health, though?
bowling?
Yeah.
I would say swinging around an 8-pound ball.
Underhand?
I would say not good for shoulder health. I would.
You know what? I'm judging you a little bit, but let's move on.
Let's move on. Now, we're going to open up the floor. We're going to talk to our guest here, Mr. Simon, and we're going to ask him a couple questions. Chad already knocked one of them out, which was the most unruly resident on the baseball team he has to deal with. Now we're going to ask him a little bit about one of his hobbies, one of his loves, that is flying planes.
All right, let's hear it.
So, Mr. Simon, tell us about this plane. Tell us about your vehicle of choice.
All right. This is a Piper Comanche. Was built in 1959, so she's not brand new, but I think she does just the trick. Right now we're flying at about 130 knots, which is somewhere close to 145 miles an hour, so we're ripping it pretty quick. If you look over here, we're burning 10 gallons of gas an hour, and that's about 12.6 miles a gallon. So I'm going to just go ahead and throw some shade at a vehicle manufacturer. At Dodge, what are we doing? Why does my truck burn worse fuel economy than a plane? Anyway, fuel point aside, we can go pretty much wherever we want to in this thing. It goes pretty quick, it's really efficient, and it's really good because we got all this updated technology that was installed about 3 or 4 years ago. So it's pretty good. The engine's brand new. It's got about 150 hours on it. So we're looking pretty fresh in here. Everything is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Guys, you enjoying the ride?
I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. If I can ask you another question here.
All right.
Tell us about the process of getting your pilot's license. As we know, you're a very experienced pilot, so why did you decide to do that? And tell us about the process of doing that.
So to get your pilot's license, there are a bunch of different ones that you need to get in order to be a pilot for a job. But let's say Mr. Farb signs a big contract coming up here and wants to go get his pilot's license because he bought himself a plane. All he needs to do is dial up a certified flight instructor and say, hey, I want to go get my pilot's license. All he's got to do is get enough ground instruction, pass a test, and about 40 hours of time in the sky, maybe more than that, depending on how consistent you are with how you're flying. And if you do all that well, you'll have a private pilot's license in 40 hours, and that means you can go up and fly with all your buddies and go wherever you want for the heck of it. But after that, if you want to go and get your pilot's license so that you can work as a pilot, you got to move forward and get some more licenses and certifications, get a little bit more advanced and further into it, which is what I'm working on. And I've been flying since I was a senior in high school, so I've been doing this for going on 3 years. But I've always wanted to fly, so couldn't have come soon enough.
Pretty cool stuff. I got a question going off of that. So, I don't know if you saw our episode with Udai and Tony, but we got into a big debate about, or no, this was Gabe Gross. Shout out Gabe Gross.
Shout out Gabe Gross.
We got into a big debate about what could you do first? Be a heart surgeon and be successful, or beat LeBron in one-on-one. So I'm going to ask a question kind of like that. What is more likely, Jackson Roberts to beat LeBron James one-on-one, playing the 10, or get a pilot license within 2 years?
Oh, dude, pilot's license within 2 years.
Okay.
It took me 3 months to get my pilot's license.
We're talking about Saxon Roberts.
We are talking about Saxon Roberts, but, you know, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. Pilot's license. I reckon if you dial him up with a real good instructor, put him with that guy, I mean,
Okay.
you'll be working magic. But I mean, Saxon's got some length on him. I could see Saxon. Saxon play some good defense. He could get LeBron, but I mean, LeBron needs to age just a couple more years, and then we'll talk that competitive. But he could have a pilot's license by then, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm going on the record, Saxon Roberts has a 0% chance of beating LeBron James in one-on-one.
Not even like 60-year-old LeBron. Give him
think-
some time.
In 5 years, I think Saxon could put up a fight.
I think that's a fair statement. I think
Saxon is probably the most athletic person one of the most athletic people I've seen in person.
That's a fair statement. I would say the same thing. Jack, I've got another question for you.
All right, let's hear
This
it.
is probably the most serious question that I'm going to ask you
All right.
up to this point.
Okay, let's hear it.
So you've seen that you go to Walmart, or as some of y'all may know, H-E-B, which is a superior grocery store to any grocery store in the world. Shout out H-E-B. But you go there, you go to the cookie section, and you see a box of double stuffed Oreos, right?
Okay.
You see not the giant size, we're saying like the share size, the family size, like the average one. How long do you think it would take you to finish that box?
I mean, am I trying to put these Oreos down? Like, am I just like housing Oreos, or am I just taking my time here?
Oreo speed run. Yes.
I mean, dude, give me an hour, and I think I could take them down. I mean, get some milk to wash it down, and you're cooking with fire. I mean, I think you can get those Oreos down pretty quick. But I mean, once you get into those family-sized boxes, your stomach's bound to start rolling. I'm just a little nervous for the tummy ache delay, but I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking if I set my mind and my heart, I'm saying there's probably about 30 to 36 Oreos in a package.
Okay.
I've probably had half of a package in one sitting before, back in my younger days, and it probably took me about 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Not surprised, kid.
5 minutes.
So 5 minutes might be a stretch, probably about 10.
That's some talent.
I'm going to say about 30 seconds per Oreo for the first sleeve, about 45 for the second sleeve, about a minute for the third sleeve per Oreo. I'm getting it down in about 25 minutes.
Wow.
Chat,
That would be impressive.
what do you think, kid? We know you're a huge Oreo fan.
I am actually. The thing about Oreos and sugar in general, if I eat too much, I feel sick immediately. So I think I'll get 15 in. How many you say is in the pack?
I would say probably 30 to 36.
I'm going to get 15 in, and I'm going to start to feel a little sick. And then I'll get to 20, 23-ish, and it's going to be a grind. So I'm going to give myself... What'd you say?
I said about 25 minutes.
I'm going to go 24 minutes.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough. Well, we have two people that are probably overly confident in their eating abilities, but that's okay. And now we're going to pivot. Again, we're going to jump into our next segment here. And our next segment is we're just going to talk a little Auburn baseball. Not a ton, just a little. As I mentioned in our introduction here, Mr. Simon is a big fan of the program. We are very thankful for him, very appreciative of him.
Shout out to Auburn fans.
Shout out all the Auburn fans. If you're watching the podcast, we love you, we appreciate you. Please come find us at a game. Come say hi. We love all of y'all. And with that being said, Mr. Simon,
All right.
my first question, and it's kind of a two-part question.
Okay.
Who is the favorite Auburn baseball player that you've ever got to watch? And what are you looking forward to this season?
favorite Auburn player I've ever gotten to watch. I'm gonna just shout it out. I'm gonna get this one out to Eric Snow.
Wow, good pull.
Eric Snow.
Great pull.
Absolutely electric. Congratulations on the Blue Jays. Close behind Ike. Ike was electric. But I think I'm gonna have to give a little underground pull here to Mr. Cade Ballou.
There you go.
Yeah, early season Cade. That was electric too. But I think kind of on the horizon here. I'm just looking to see what the new look of the program's got going on. We got a couple good transfers coming in. Got some new freshmen coming into the program that I think look pretty solid. Fall games looked pretty fire. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. I've already told the gentleman in here that I'm gonna fly myself out to Omaha if we get so fortunate in order to get a little trip out there. But I think this program is going to have some pretty good things coming up on the horizon, and I look forward to being at all those games.
Great take. I love the Cade Ballou shout out. Love that.
Cade Ballou shout out's great. I didn't see Cade Ballou at the facility. I wish that I did, because those new compression shirts probably looks pretty good on Cade. Guy's pretty jacked.
That's true.
Pretty jacked.
They're a little snug, but maybe a little too snug on Cade Ballou. But
yeah, really snug on Big Riz.
That's true.
And Wade Shelley.
and they fit you perfectly.
They fit me great.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a little bit of Auburn baseball talk here myself, if that's okay. I'm pumped for the season, excited to be back on campus. I'm really excited, fired up. We got great leadership. We got a great coaching staff, great in-house player-led team that loves to get after it. And I'm not big on predictions, but I'm excited for a really fun year with the boys, and excited to have a really competitive season. I'm going to turn it over to Chat, let him give some thoughts.
Yeah, kind of just same thing. Super excited. I'm not big on predictions either, but I know we got a group that's going to put our heads down and just go to work, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to give a shout out to somebody that I think is a sleeper pick that nobody is really thinking too much about, but I'm telling you, this guy's going to have a huge year, and that's our guy Saxon Roberts. Saxon is somebody to watch this year, and he's going to have a big year.
D1 Baseball America.
Hit through 100 miles an hour.
Everybody, keep an eye out for Sax.
For sure.
Kid's a really good player.
Yep.
Okay, well, as we are nearing toward the end of our episode, we're going to have one more segment, and then we're going to jump into closing and shout-outs. This is a segment for Mr. Simon again. We're just going to ask him to name a random plane fact.
Random?
That's a segment? Just name a fact about a plane?
Name a random plane fact. That's our segment.
Name a fact about a plane. Oh, man, put me on the spot. Okay.
I gotta say, this is a terrible segment choice.
It's on me.
Oh, dude. Okay. Did you know that if we were flying way up to like 15,000 feet, you could get something called hypoxia, which means that you don't have enough like oxygen in your blood, and that'll make you feel a little high up there. So always make sure you're wearing your oxygen. Always make sure you're breathing.
That's interesting.
That's going to be my that's another shout out for today. Is breathing and oxygen. Don't get hypoxia.
It's a great shout out. A shout out that is important to me. It's important to breathe. I'm going to turn this around, and we're going to ask Chat. Since I had such a terrible segment, we're going to even add on and make it even better.
Absolutely.
Chat, give me a random fact about Killen, Alabama.
Ooh, shout out Killen, Alabama, the place I live. I'll give you a fact about it. There is less than 1,000 residents that live in Killen, and that is part of the reason why I love it. Small little town, Everybody knows everybody. You know, I go to the grocery store, I run into like 4 or 5 people that I know, end up talking to them. I go over to Target, same thing. You know, there's only probably 3 or 4 stores in Killen, but that's a good thing about it.
Chatterton does claim to be the most famous person in Killen, Alabama.
Ooh.
And it is something he loves to talk about
Did I claim
all
that?
the time.
I don't think I ever said
I
that.
feel like me and him don't ever have a conversation where he's like, did you know, or where we have a conversation where he doesn't tell me, did you know I'm the most famous person in Killen, Alabama?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said that. You know, and I don't think that's true. I would like to think that maybe I'm like top 10.
Okay.
Most famous person in Killen, but I don't even know if that's true. Shout out Seth Walton again. He might be more famous than me.
It's pretty famous in Killen.
Yeah, true.
Well,
I actually got a question, kind of going back to what we were talking about a second ago. So, how far up in the sky can we go before we like reach the limit? Like, why?
In this plane or just in general?
Let's say this plane. Like, why can't we fly this plane up to space?
So the service ceiling of this plane is 18,000 feet. I'm not going to be able to get it any higher than that. We can't take this plane up into space because it's a carbureted engine, meaning it needs air from the atmosphere, and it mixes that fuel and air in the carburetor, sends it to the cylinders, and that's where it makes the power. But as we get up higher in the atmosphere and that air gets really, really thin, we won't be able to get as much or enough of it into those cylinders, so eventually we just won't be able to climb anymore, and that'll happen at about 18,000 feet.
So, can I ask you a question about that?
Let's hear it.
What if you made your plane powered by something else that's not carbon? Like you have a non-carbon powered plane,
Well, I mean,
and you could drive it to space.
technically, yeah. I mean, if we have like solid fuel, like a rocket ship does, then we can, as long as we got all the equipment we need, I mean, you and I can take a flight to space, but
Yeah.
my sources say that Chat was a little shaky here on the plane ride at first. Guy was a little nervous, that's what they say.
Chat was a little nervous, and that's okay. It happens. We all have those things.
I was. I can't lie.
Yeah, that's okay.
You know, I've been on a lot of planes. I've probably been on a flight 30 plus times in my life, but never a plane this small. So, you know, climbing in here was a little sketch to me. But that's why we got our guy, Jack, who's a great flyer.
I appreciate that. Sometimes you just gotta spend some quality time with the fellas, and that's
Sure.
that's what matters.
I agree. Well, we're nearing the end of the episode here, so we're going to let Jack kick us off with our shout-outs.
Ooh.
I mean, I think I've gotten the best shout out here so far. I'm going to go ahead and give that out to Oxygen. Shout out Oxygen, being good for breathing. I'm going to go ahead and shout out Auburn Aviation. Great program for anyone that's not at Auburn that wants to be a pilot. Shout out Auburn Aviation. And then I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to a little personal project that I'm working on with Auburn Aviation. Using a little bit of inspiration from the Plainsman podcast, I'm going to be launching a Auburn University sanctioned podcast called The Flight Line, where we're going to talk anything, everything, aviation, flight careers, and and Auburn's program as well. So shout out to the Flight Line podcast, launching soon here in the next couple months.
Pretty cool. Pretty
Everyone
cool.
tune in.
You heard it here first. Plainsman Pod, Flyline Pod, collab on the horizon.
For sure.
On
for
the
sure.
horizon. Well, I'm going to spin this around. We're going to let Chat knock out his shout out for the day.
Yeah, so I got a couple shout outs. First of all, I would like to shout out Red Gummy Bears. No reason. Second shout out is going to go to all my family that was a little nervous about this. I'd like to shout out my mom, grandmom, and pop-pop, and Lily, who was also a little nervous about this. You know, everything's going good. And my final shout out is going to go to Eric Snow. Shout out Eric Snow and go Jays.
Hey, there we go. Well, I've got a couple shout outs today. The first shout out is going to go to Greg Dry. Mr. Dry, Coach Dry, I want to apologize. There was a camp that we had the opportunity to volunteer at this weekend, and I saw his message and thought it was for next weekend. So told him I would be available to help when I was in San Antonio, Texas. So Coach Dry, I apologize for the inconvenience I caused you. My next shout out is going to Glenn, Karen, and Corey Daniel. The reason they're getting shouted out today is because the first time I ever went in a plane of this size with the Daniels. We flew to Waco, Texas. It was a great time. And my last shout out is going to go to the uncontacted tribes that are in Papua New Guinea.
Good pull. Good pull.
We see you, and we hope you're enjoying your life there on the island. And yeah, so thank y'all for tuning in to this special first ever plane podcast. The Plainsman Podcast in a plane. Try to say that 5 times fast. Thank y'all for tuning in.
We are closing in on the landing. Forbes, how was the experience?
It was a fantastic experience. Shout out to Mr. Jack Huron. He did a great job taking care of us, and we're closing in on our landing here. It looks like we have about 1 minute and 20 to our destination.
Back here with our pilot, Mr. Jack Simon. Just touched down, had a nice, smooth, easy flight. Tell us your thoughts. What are you thinking?
I just kept it consistent, business as usual. Everything was going pretty good. Winds were nice and calm. We were ripping it just like I thought we would, and everything went pretty well. I'd say the podcast film went pretty solid too. That was a first time for me, so sometimes it's nice to do fun things when you're flying.
Yeah, I would say podcast filming was exceptional. I would also say, being in a small plane like this, I was expecting, somewhat of maybe a little bit of turbulence. And I would say our guide here directed us through the smooth wind, through the smooth air, zero turbulence on the flight. Very pleased with that, as sometimes I can get a little motion sick. So, as a pilot here, do you ever get motion sick?
Not at all. Not once. I'm sure that there will come a day, but that day was not for the pod, which is I'm very thankful.
It was not today.
Not today. Not for the pod.
We asked the questions y'all want to know. Plainsman Podcast here. Signing out. Maybe there's more in the video. I don't know. But we're signing out of the post game.